Hello and welcome to the Hindu Live. The assembly election results in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh were declared today. As the trend suggests, the ruling Sikkim Krantikari Morcha is all set to return to power in Sikkim, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is also set to return to power in Arunachal Pradesh with a thumping majority. To discuss the assembly elections that were held on April 19, coinciding with the first phase of Lok Sabha elections in across the country. I'll be joined by my colleague Rahul Karmakar, who covers the Northeast for us. And we will be discussing the various aspects of assembly elections in the two Himalayan states. To begin with, I will give a brief description about Sikkim. There were 4.64 lakh registered voters in Sikkim, and the elections were held for 32 seats in the assembly, along with one parliamentary seat, which will the results for which will be declared on June 4th, along with the rest of the country. The results for Sikkim were declared today, and as the Election Commission of India website shows, the ruling Sikkim Krantikari Morcha is back with a thumping majority. More than they have won more seats than they won last time in the 2019 Assembly elections, and it seems like they're going to win 31 out of 32 seats. To speak more about this, we will be joined by Amit Patro, who is the editor of Sikkim Express. But first, I'll go to my colleague Rahul, who will give you a brief lowdown on what's happening in Arunachal.
Hello, namaskar, and welcome to the Hindu live chat. So, in Arunachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh basically followed the same pattern. This like all smaller northeastern states. Arunachal Pradesh has been dependent on New Delhi, and there has been a history of the election results going with the flow at the center. So basically, the party that rules in the state and at the center wins. And if by chance the party at the center changes, even the political party that wins in the state has had a history of changing colors. So there's nothing much to analyze. It has followed a pattern. And one of the and this time the results were pretty much predictable because the BJP had already won 10 seats uncontested, including Chief Minister Pema Khandu from Mukto and Deputy Chief Minister Chauna Maid. So so this one thing is that the BJP has in this election. Mr. Khandu has been established as an undisputed leader after his father, who passed away in an accident more than a decade ago. But what happens is, in 2 days from now, there will be the general elections, and will be the Lok Sabha election results will be announced, and it all depends on who wins in that election. So the fate of the BJP or whichever in Arunachal will hang. In the coming days, will hang on the outcome at the center.
Rahul, you mentioned that the BJP won 10 seats uncontested. If you could brief our viewers, is this a trend in Arunachal that this has happened before, or this is the first time it has happened? Because if you could tell our viewers more about it.
So it's not the first time, because the first time it happened was in 1999, and if I'm not mistaken, there were 4 seats were won uncontested, and in 2014, there was a record 11 candidates who won, and they were all Congress candidates. So this is not the first time. See, elections in Arunachal Pradesh, because they cover a huge geographical area and over different landscapes. So logistics and others. Election is a huge, expensive exercise there. So not everyone is and if people look at it as an investment. So what happens is the party with more resources and the candidates with more resources, they can dare to, contest that election. So this is why you see people winning uncontested in that, and there's nothing much to read into it. This has been a pattern since the 1999 because there is a lot of stakes for people who win.
Yeah, and interestingly, the Chief Minister Pema Khandu, he also won without contesting an election this time. Even his
No,
seat
this
was
is the third time. He has won the
okay.
uncontested for the third time. He only won in 2014.
Okay, okay. And then he was with the Congress.
Then he
He
was with
won
the
on a
Congress.
Congress ticket, and then he joined the
Twice he
BJP.
won. Twice he won uncontested on a BJP ticket. That was in
Okay.
2019 and this time.
But as the results show, the Congress is totally decimated in the state.
Yes,
There was not
absolutely.
much of a competition for the BJP. How
So
many seats did they
the
contest on?
Congress still has hope in one seat. That is one former because the result has not been announced. Is the Babin constituency, which is former minister Kumar Wai is leading in that.
Okay.
And Congress did win 4 seats in 2019, but three of them joined the BJP later on. And the only person who was left was former Chief Minister Nawam Tuki, who is now a contestant. He is not a candidate for the Lok Sabha election. He's facing, he contested against Union Minister Mr. Kiran Rijiju in Arunachal West.
Right,
So,
right.
in case he loses, it will be, it will put a question mark on his political career in the state.
Right. Why do you
Because
say
he
so?
has because the Sagali seat that he left because he did not contest in the Sagali seat, which he has been winning for a long time. So the Sagali seat has been won by the BJP for the first time in a long time.
Okay. And Sagali is located in which part of Arunachal, if you could tell our
It's
viewers?
adjoining Itanagar,
Okay. It's near the capital city.
near the capital city.
Okay. And what about NCP? I think they're also winning a couple of seats.
NCP, they are at the moment. I think they have won 3 seats. Right? Just a minute. Let me check. They have won 2 seats and is leading in another one. So even at the same, because people who don't get, this has also been a trend. People who didn't get tickets for the major parties, they choose the smaller parties, and the stronger candidates win because of local conditions and because of his local pool, his popularity, and of course his resources.
Okay. So the turncoats have a better chance at winning the election.
Yes, absolutely.
Even in
Some
Sikkim, we saw
countries, even
the
Sikkim
low.
has the SDF candidate who won.
Yeah.
He was a SKM candidate before the election. He was denied ticket. He got a ticket with SDF, and he was the only candidate who won, who
The
defeated.
lone
And
seat that SDF is winning is belongs to a turncoat who has come from SK.
SDF has already won that. Belongs to a
Okay, SDF.
turncoat from the SKM, and he defeated a sitting minister in the
So
Prem Singh.
the trend, yeah. So the same trend continues in Arunachal also.
Yes.
But as far as
This is,
issues
this
are
is not
concerned,
unusual. This is not unusual in the northeast, mostly the hill states.
right? It's not unusual in other parts of the country also. People do like go for a rival party when they're denied tickets.
Yes,
Yeah. And
they do.
as far as issues are concerned, what were the major issues in Arunachal?
Nothing
What are the
much.
issues that concern the people?
Development is one, and see, there are hardly any issues to be because there were in some cases there were some allegations of corruption in highway building and hydropower projects and also job recruitment, but this did not work much. At the end of the day, the, the more powerful parties and the parties that do more groundwork. And BJP, you have to give credit to the BJP. BJP has been at it for over the last 5 years. They have gone to villages, while other parties were taking it very casually. To be honest,
So it is also the results are also reflect the outreach that the BJP has done
yes,
in the past
absolutely,
5 years, be
absolutely.
it in
There's
the
been
terms of development or door-to-door campaigning or reaching out to people, even in the remotest corners of the state,
yes.
right?
And they also latched onto that government scheme of Sarkar Aapke Dwar. So
Right.
the BJP managed to turn it into a more than a government program into a party program.
Right, and they have also the government in its last the NDA government. They announced this vibrant village program where they decided to connect the most remotest villages in the border with China with roads and other infrastructure. And has that kicked off in Arunachal? Has that helped the BJP?
It has to some, but whether it has helped or not is very difficult to say, because in those areas, the people, they are very small settlements and very far apart. So I'm not sure, and it's also very difficult for the candidates to reach out, because you have to travel miles and spend days walking to most of those places. So I'm not sure whether this has worked or not, but yes, in some cases it has. Mostly in the areas, in the more accessible areas towards the border, maybe, or with Bhutan or in Myanmar, in the lower
Right.
reaches on the southern side.
Right. I think we have Mr. Amit Patro on call. Yeah, I just wanted to understand what is the since the results are out now, the assembly election results in Sikkim. What does it mean for the state? Does it mean stability? Why did people choose to bring back the government with a thumping majority for a second time?
Yeah, it was an astonishing victory for SKM party, and 31 out of 32 is like almost it's like absolute 100% victory. Even the lone candidate which won from SKM party is a person who was an SKM party, who recently joined SJ party after not getting the ticket from SKM party.
Right. You mentioned the word astonishing. Why do you say astonishing? Were you expecting? Were people expecting a two-cornered fight between SKM and SDF, or didn't there was a wave, or there was no wave for the SKM?
No, there was actually there was a three-corner fight between SKM, SDF, and BJP, and the way the elections turned out, like it went out single-handedly to SKM.
Okay. And what are the issues you think that worked in favor of SKM?
I guess the pro people policy that they had initiated, and the kind of there was no anti-incumbency at all. It was a first-term government, and the popularity of the leader. So it was this election was basically, I feel, it was Prem Singh Dam, the chief minister, versus Pawan Kumar Chamling. This election was fought between PS Gole and PS Tamang. So I guess like PS Gole and Pawan Kumar Chamling. So I guess single-handedly PS Gole won, and the, the
Yeah, I
results show
think
that.
Mr. Chamling lost both his seats where he contested from. Has he
Yeah, he
lost?
lost both his seats. Yes, yes.
Okay, that's very surprising, because in the last assembly, I think he was the only opposition member,
No,
right?
last election, the SDF had won 10 seats. The remaining joined BJP, so he was the only lone SDF MLA.
Okay, and what does it? Has the BJP increased its share vote percentage in
They,
terms of?
they have increased the vote percentage, but again, they couldn't win any seat. So again, they're a party with no presence in the assembly.
Okay, and there was a new party, Citizens Action Party, which was formed on the plank of anti-corruption. How have they fared this time?
No, the Citizen Action Party. It was the first time in the electoral politics. They could get managed to get some. They had a good voting percentage, but like again, that couldn't turn into seats. So we have to
Okay.
see for future how they perform in the coming elections.
Okay, and all eyes were set on Baichung Bhutia. He merged his party with SDF last year, and yet
Yeah.
he couldn't win a seat.
So I guess more or less this end of a political career for Baichung Bhutia, because he haven't been able to win in electoral politics, and this was his best chance. He was standing from SJ party, and Barfung seat is his home ground seat. He's from that area, and that seat is supposed to be a very strong seat for SDF, where he was which party he was contesting from. So he couldn't manage to win from there. So I guess it's the end of a political career for him.
Okay, and coming to the winning margin, has SKM won with huge margins this time than the last time, or it's as you said earlier, it was an astonishing win for SKM.
No, no, they have won with comparatively a very huge margin than what it was expected.
Okay. And Mr. Chamling
They have
has,
increased in the they have
sorry, yeah,
increased the
please
vote
continue.
share since 2019.
They have increased the vote share than
Yeah,
2019.
yeah.
Okay. And but corruption seemed to be an important issue during the elections. Do you think it made an impact? It had any impact during the elections? Sorry for my bad voice.
No, no, I don't think it really had a impact on elections. I guess this time the vote was not even casted. People were assuming the vote will be casted on, this particular, the tribe-based votes were also even not casted. The votes were not even casted for on caste-based, because Mr. Pawan Kumar Chamling represents the tribe which has the highest number of voters in Sikkim, but like votes were casted on the agenda and policies which SKM government were actually appealing votes for.
I was sorry. I was going through the BJP manifesto. They mentioned the preservation of Article 371F of the Constitution if they come back to power. Was that an issue? Like say in Ladakh, we have seen people are demanding constitutional safeguards. Was that an issue in Sikkim for the people in Sikkim?
No,
Because that is also
safeguarding
very
Article 371F was was the major issue for all the political parties, not only BJP. It was even for SKM, for SDF. The safeguarding Article 371 was in the manifesto of all the political parties. But lot of policies that SKM had introduced, like Jan Bharosa Yojana, and how they attracted the youth, how the way the SKM managed to attract the youth, and the way they were able to give government jobs to unemployed just before the elections. I guess those all work for SKM party.
But last year, I think the chief minister met Home Minister Amit Shah, and this issue of Limbu Tamangs was raised. This has been a contentious issue in the state. It did not dent their chances in the assembly election, it seems. The reservation of seats.
No, the reservation of seats will actually happen in 2026 when the delimitation will take place. The delimitation is due in 2026. So only thereafter, after the delimitation, the seats can be reserved for Limbu Tamang in the
Okay,
state of Sikkim.
the assembly will be expanded to 60 member, or there are other communities
No,
who are also demanding.
yeah, so assembly may be expanded to 40, or may not be. They may be given seats from 32. So that's for wait and watch. Let's see.
Okay, and there are other communities also that are vying for reservation in assembly. The 12.
No, no, no. It's only Limbu Tamang has been incorporated in the tribal list. So it's first due, like they will be given
Okay,
seats. You know.
as and when it happens. Okay,
Yeah.
and any other issue that you think that worked in favor? You mentioned about the youth. Could you
Yeah.
elaborate what schemes and projects that the government brought for the youth that worked in its favor?
No, jobs were given to around 25,000 youths just before the elections. So I guess that
Okay.
really worked in the favor in a small state of Sikkim, where the total number of voters are around just 4 lakh. They're giving jobs to 25,000 people. Like that really helped SKM.
And these jobs, they were like vacant for quite some time. These were vacancies that were
No, they were freshly appointed on ad hoc
freshly
basis.
opened.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And Mr. Chamling had repeatedly mentioned about political violence in Sikkim. And being a small state, it's very disconcerting that such a thing is happening. What is the ground situation like? He has accused the SKM of political violence.
Well, he's accused SKM of political violence, but I guess they couldn't, garner votes on that issue. And again, what I see is like SDF, just before the election, they could not create the wave. They could not hold big public rallies or big public meetings, to create the wave in a small state that matters a lot. I guess that also didn't work in their favor.
Okay, so the
And
outreach
even
was
in
lacking.
ticket distribution, when SDF get their 32 MLA seats, they could not even field one woman MLA candidate in all the 32.
Right.
So that also
That is
didn't work in their favor.
okay.
They didn't
And
even have one woman candidate.
okay. And has any woman been fielded by SKM? Any woman candidates?
Yeah, there are many. There are many. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And any you spoke about the youth and of course the women connect also, and also the outreach by SKM that seems to have worked in their favor.
Yeah.
Any other issue that you think that that worked in their favor?
No, it's I guess like the trust that people still have in Prem Singh Tabang is like there, and they want to give him one more chance. They want to give him chance one more time to see how the and fairly people are happy with with this government. That's why they voted him back to power.
And will this have a bearing on the Lok Sabha election results, the assembly
So I
election?
guess like the kind of vote percentage that they have managed to acquire in the assembly. So Lok Sabha elections also SKM will win the seat. That's what.
This will be the first time that SKM will be winning a Lok Sabha seat.
No, no. Even last time they won the Lok Sabha
Last
seat.
time, okay, last time also.
Yeah, Indra Stupa is a sitting MLA.
Okay. And as far as exit polls are concerned, they were all giving 24 to 30, 24 to 26 seats, I think, to
Yes,
SKM.
yes, sir.
So even
Yeah.
they have been proven wrong this time.
Yeah, even they have it over. Even they have got like 31.
So is SKM also in shock that they have got so many seats? Were they expecting or
No,
not?
I guess a lot of when I was talking to a lot of party workers, they are quite shocked to win 31. But the chief minister was always very confident that they'll win on 32 or 32. But again in ground they are shocked.
Okay. And what does the result mean for SKM's equation with the BJP? It has been an on and off relationship,
No, before the elections, they were an alliance partner.
right?
During the election, they did not want to do any seat sharing with the BJP, so they
Right.
went their own ways. So we have to see now. Again, post-election, BJP has not managed to win any seat. So I guess SKM is part of the NDA. So the MP will be supporting BJP in the center. So in the state, what kind of alliance you can have when there is no MLA? So there is no need for any alliance.
No, yeah, there's no need for any alliance in the state, but yeah, as you rightly pointed out, when it comes to say meetings with the center or getting projects from the center, getting projects sanctioned from the center, you need align with the center. If the BJP comes back to power in the center,
No, they are already part of the NDA. They are already part of the NDA. Yeah, they
yes.
are already part of the NDA.
Okay, okay. I think that will be all. Thank you so much for joining us at such a short
Okay,
notice.
fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
You
much.
heard Mr. Amit Patro, he's editor Sikkim Express. He said that the win was astonishing even for the SKM cadres. They were expecting to win seats, but not 31 out of 32 seats. So it's a remarkable win for the current chief minister. And as he mentioned, his appears to be quite popular in the state. Just before the elections, he handed out jobs to 25,000 youths, which seem to have made a connect with a lot of people because it's a small state. Only 4.64 lakh voters are there, and giving out 25,000 jobs just before the elections seems to have worked for the party. I think Rahul can. I think Rina is online, so if Rahul could speak to her about Arunachal Pradesh.
Now, seeing you after a long time in person. Anyway, uh, so we have done a lot of elections together. So, what do you make of this results this time? Does it follow the same pattern, or is there something different?
It follows the same pattern, yes. Expected, unexpected lines.
Mhm.
Not too many surprises there.
Mhm. Okay. So, what do you think were the main issues for which the BJP came back to power, or were there any issues at all?
There were no issues. BJP came back to power because it is in power. So otherwise, I don't think there were any issues yet to talk about.
Mhm.
It was, I mean, they didn't have any opposition. All the political parties, they couldn't even field more than 20, 21 candidates,
Yeah.
except for NPP, I guess.
I think the NPP managed 20, and NPP is a part of the NDA.
Yeah, it's part of the NDA. It's doing pretty well. 5 seats so far.
So what do you make of the 10 seats that the BJP won uncontested, including this Chief Minister Mr. Pema Khandu and the Deputy Chief Minister Mr. Chawna Main?
It's not something new. I mean, we have this trend of, sending people, and I don't say unopposed. I'm sure there were oppositions there, but it was just that they were not given the chance. So it's not a very healthy trend, but it's been going on for so many elections now, so it's not surprising anymore. But it's a deprivation of people who are really keen to vote.
So over the last 2-3 years, like there were a lot of corruption charges regarding highways and compensation and even job recruitment. The APPSC, Arunachal Pradesh state, alleged scam. So there were a lot of violence on the streets also. So did these finally have any impact, or they were very localized to have any impact at all?
Zero impact. Nothing. I mean, like while elections were ongoing, there was a case against the CM also on corruption charges. That didn't change either. Nothing really. All localized. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? And about who is in power. Yeah.
So as I had I thought I have read somewhere that contesting election in Arunachal is like an investment. So people who really have the chances of winning, they can, how true is that?
I guess so. There's nothing to talk about, when it comes about issues in Arunachal during elections. There is nothing really.
So since you say there are hardly any issues, there was one, issue that the BJP had been very vocal about, and that was the Vibrant Village program, and to build infrastructure along the border, international border, and counter the so-called, counter the perceived threats from across the border in China. So how much of a factor was that? Did they really work?
No, I don't think we even remember China when we were voting, I don't think we remember any of it, whether the borders are connected or not. Of course, it has definitely improved, but not so much. I mean, there's a lot more to be done. But that was not an issue at all. I mean, issues in Arunachal are quite, it's about who got which party ticket and how much money can the person spend, right? So, it might be an issue when it's not the election time. Border is an issue, of course, but during election time, it was not an issue at all. It's not like, you don't make roads when you vote for you. They still vote for you if you promise that you're going to make the roads, and which the BJP has done so far, that they have time and again emphasized on, connect.
So in many cases, the individual also matters more than the party, right? Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Does the individual matter more than the party in most of these constituencies in Arunachal Pradesh?
Not really. I think it's the party that matters more than individual.
Okay.
Individual doesn't really.
Fine. So basically, there has also been a lot of talk about the hydropower projects in Arunachal Pradesh. So, and their impact on the people. So did this have any effect at all?
No, not really. It was not even a part of discussion. But like after the election and prior to election, yeah. Prior to election, of course, there were discussion, and after the election, there will be discussion on this, but not during the election. Elections in Arunachal are not issue-based. It's about parties. It's about which party is in the center, which party got which candidate got the ticket that's winning. Other than that, I don't think we have any major discussions. Yeah.
So will this election have any impact on the two Lok Sabha seats, or are those Lok Sabha elections contested on a different platform altogether?
I'm not too sure about both the seats. Maybe we're sending one BJP candidate to the parliament. Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't really. There are a lot of young people where I think we a lot of young people who didn't want to vote for these two incumbents, MP to both the MPs. I think they were not really up to the mark or expectations of the young people. But then we had I think we had one definitely is going back. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the Congress? Because last time they won 4 seats and 3 of them joined the BJP later. Now, as far as the election trend, I'm watching on the ECI website, one BJP candidate is leading. And what do you think of the Congress in the coming days, and particularly the fate of, just in case he happens to lose, the former Chief Minister, Mr. Nabam Tuki? Because he was the face of Congress for a long time in Arunachal Pradesh.
Yeah, now Congress is almost over, but then the one that is now leading from Bameng constituency, he's quite a formidable politician. Let's see how it goes. But then the fact that the Congress were not even able to come up with 20 candidates says a lot about the party in the state.
Okay. And finally, what are the chances of more representation of women in the government?
It's just, I think till now just 4 of the 60. Yeah, just 4 candidates, all BJP. It's very, very less, and we haven't had a female cabinet minister in the last 20 years. So maybe this time there might be one, but I'm not too hopeful.
Great. So thank you, Tongam, for your time. And I think that should be all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think both the states, I think they voted on predictable lines, and there hardly seems to be any surprise, at least in Arunachal, because as Tongam said that whoever is in whoever is in power in the center, the state aligns with the party, and people vote along on those lines. And corruption also seems not to be a major issue, at least in Sikkim and Arunachal, as appears by our conversation with the two senior journalists. So, Rahul, your take on all this?
Say in Arunachal Pradesh, as I said, it's on expected lines. There's actually nothing much to analyze about Arunachal Pradesh. This has been the way the state has voted. There has been a history of candidates winning seats uncontested, and it has followed the pattern. It all now depends on what happens on June 4 and the aftermath. So if the BJP or the NDA wins, it's fine for the BJP government in Arunachal Pradesh. Just if, in case the India bloc wins, you never know, the government might change, because this has happened in Arunachal Pradesh in 1996 when the Janata, the Third Front ruled. There was a Congress. The Congress won the election under Gyalgongapang. They became Arunachal Congress just overnight. And 1 year before the election, 2004 election, they switched over to, all of them became BJP government without an election. That was the first time the BJP got a government without winning an election in Arunachal Pradesh. So this happens in Arunachal Pradesh.
Even in 14, it happened.
2004. 2003 it happened, before the 2004 elections. So Congress won in Arunachal Pradesh 96, but then the government that was formed in the center was Third Front. So they became Arunachal Congress.
And as we have seen in other parts of the country, there is a lot of talk about how women voters vote. But that doesn't appear to be a case in Arunachal or Sikkim.
No.
Sikkim, as Amit mentioned, that they gave tickets to women. So that worked in their favor. But what about Arunachal? Was there any clear pattern on which women voted?
No, clear. It follows the same trend. They go by the party and the candidate in some cases. And then there were also some schemes, like in Sikkim, you had that pension scheme for the unmarried women of 2,000 per month. These are certain schemes that work.
Right. Basically, government schemes, labharthis, as we say,
Yes. And those are
those who get
basically
the
the
benefit.
central schemes packaged as state schemes, mostly the central schemes.
Okay. And it helps when you have a BJP government in the center and in the
Absolutely.
state also.
So the projects also get
So,
cleared
yeah, so there is,
more than in other states. Yes.
yeah, and they can package it and they can sell it as a central or a state scheme depending on the party
Yes.
in power,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we may conclude this. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching the live conversation on Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh Assembly elections. Stay tuned to the Hindu website for more live updates like this on June 4 when the Lok Sabha election results are announced. There will be live updates, there will be live conversations with our editors, and you will get a handy analysis on the ongoing trends and the election results as they come in.